Good morning, South Anchorage High School. Welcome again to the Den. It is Wednesday, noon o'clock on November the 4th, 2020, the day after election. And guess what? When I woke up this morning, the moment consciousness entered my brain, came the realization that, ladies and gentlemen, everything will be okay. And the reason everything will be okay is because, ladies and gentlemen, coffee still exists. Thank you, Dr. Allman, for the coffee this morning. We really appreciate it. Welcome to the Den, where we talk all things Denish, all things Southish, and all things that you want to hear about. Remember, you're watching at www.wolverineden.org. If you want to see a killer interview, this morning on our early show, we got to talk to Dr. Ann Zink, who told us all of her thoughts on the science and everything else that goes along with keeping us safe and rolling forward and going through all this stuff. You can catch that at thedenak.org. Share it with friends and family and let them all know, and so on and so forth. And it was pretty fantastic. And then now we're here for our show. Welcome back, crew. Hello, everybody. We're kicking it here on Wednesday, day after election, day after school board meeting, which everyone should always do your civic duty. Go check out the school board meeting. I do believe Elliot's throwing the link in the chat. That happened last night. Make sure you're paying attention, because these are the folks that govern what happens in our world. So it's important that you guys are paying attention. I'm super excited about what has taken place over the last few weeks and last night and everything like that. And, listening to all the uncles, aunts, and everyone else in your world that are talking about all the bad, good, bad, all this way and everywhere, understand that, folks, tons of people got out last night and over the last few weeks to vote. People are participating. That is a good thing. That is a good sign. So make sure you are participating too by staying informed and getting informed and making decisions with your brain. Welcome back, Dr. Allman. Give us the what's up, the word, the 411 on what's happening in Southtown.
If I'm not mistaken, this is week 3, correct?
It is.
Of class. That means next week you will have completed a 9 weeks equivalent worth of work, and it will turn of your first semester, if that makes sense, because the 3 classes you're taking right now, which will be the remainder of your first semester credits, will be about half over. So I would just say to students and parents out there, please make sure you're paying attention to the work and what needs to get done so that you can get a head start on that and take the small steps now to hopefully get the long-term benefit. Rather than waiting. It seems to me that most of our students are starting to adapt quite well to this particular learning situation since we've been in it for a couple of months now. So just keep that up. Meanwhile, there is a lot of planning going on at the district level for reentry. And we're working as a school on coming up with the best possible health and safety plan. That's going to take place over the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then there will be more information pushed out to the public, to parents, to students, and with all things South High School in approximately a month. And then that will be right before we get into semester break. Everybody can hopefully relax, get more sleep, not think about school, and then we'll get restarted again on January 4th, one way or another. And it is very difficult to determine what that might look like. So even the best laid plan right now may not actually be the plan by the time we get to January 4th. So I would say plan A through E always needs to exist, and somewhere in the middle we'll find a way forward.
So stay flexible, people. Do that yoga every single day. It'd be fantastic, and it will make you more and more flexible as things move on. And remember, we can sometimes look at school and kind of mid-quarter, really, as someone that's coming around the corner, and we got to take them out. So there's always a strategy for something like this, and we can always get to those strategies.
Pick up one of those rocks, get behind the boulder. The minute his head is in view, hit it with the rock!
So, as the minute the head is in view, hit it with the rock. That's fantastic, and a nice little update on what you can be able to see this weekend. So, stay with us today to hear more about that. It's going to be pretty fantastic. We really appreciate that. Okay, so we're at mid-quarter, mid-semester, really. Like, it's kind of a fun kind of place to be, and we're rocking and rolling. We don't have answers yet, and that's pretty cool. And it seems like I saw this weekend that kind of sports were wrapping up a little bit for the kind of fall sportsy kind of world. Is that right?
Correct. So volleyball regions are Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Riflery is still going on, but everything must be concluded by November 21st. And then between November 21st and January 4th, we are taking a pause on sports and activities. And so part of that planning that I talked about earlier is around sports and activities and extracurricular when we start back up January 4th, one way or another.
It's fantastic. Cool. And what else is happening that you've seen taking place? I've noticed that folks are getting some extra help after school if they need help. And there's all kinds of tutoring online right now. And is there something else that Sal's kind of working on or happening in the community that you think would be a benefit for folks to know out there?
I think right now we're doing our after school tutoring program with a select few students. That's been pretty successful, and hopefully getting them to get through classwork a little bit easier with that little bit of help. I'd encourage everyone to take care of the distance options for tutoring, with various teachers, departments, et cetera. And then really what we're looking at now is how best to manage in-person versus not in person versus ASD virtual versus homeschool options in the future. And so what we hope to be able to offer is for the South community, especially an ability to have a South teacher, at least 2 of those 4 models. So ASD virtual and homeschool would not be South teachers, but we are working on a plan where you would have 2 different options to have South teachers. And more to come on that because it is in the very early planning phases at this point, but certainly more to come on that as I get through more meetings at the district level.
That's awesome. We appreciate that you're keeping us informed and letting us know what's going on when you know it. Group, do you have any questions for Dr. Allman? Do you see anything in the chat? Do we have anything specific to Dr. Allman-like areas, even yourselves? Do you have questions yourselves on what's going on as we go? This Clara, she's looking at the ceiling. This is a bad sign. She's getting a hard ball ready. She plays nothing? Nothing at all. You're feeling pretty satisfied with where things are at mid-quarter? Who's this going smoother for this second round, by the way? Just a quick question. What do you think is leading to that? What's leading to this smoother? Is it you're more prepared? Is it teachers are more prepared? Is it we're getting into the swing of this motion? Like, what is it? What's working?
For me, I know personally, I'm really impressed with how my math teacher is able to transfer to online. So everything's just super smooth. I have all of my notes, all the book solutions, everything I need. And she makes it really, really easy. The only thing is that I've had to adjust to having longer classes. So last quarter, all of my teachers had like 30-minute, 45-minute classes, and now I am on for a longer amount of time. And it's an adjustment, but just the way that they're handling like the technological part of the virtual learning makes it just so much easier. Not that my last quarter ones were really bad, but these ones are good too.
It's all right. We're not naming names. You can trash on anyone you want. Only they know, so it's kind of okay. And you're not naming names. That's okay. And so, I mean, we can even pump people up without naming names, right? Because I too have had a wonderful experience with my daughter's math teacher this semester. In fact, today, that math teacher, see, I don't even go gender. See, that's how good I am, right? Like, I give nothing away. Jade's math teacher today, offered a Zoom that was not, required to be there, but prep for a test that they're taking tomorrow. And I just think that was super awesome that was available to them to go take care of. And so, yeah, I agree. I think teachers are getting in the flow. I believe it or not, they allow me to teach kids. It's kind of a weird thing that they allow that to happen. I mean, look at this face. And it's working out, right? And things are getting smoother and easier. You guys, anyone else have some stories of how that's working better for you this semester?
I think for me, I've seen my Canvas shells become a little more organized. Like my first quarter classes, they were kind of organized, but you could tell that the teachers were still a little confused about like where to put things and how to make it super easy to find. And like this quarter, everything's laid out. Like I have a special tab for my notes. I have a special place to assignments. So it makes online learning really easy because I know where to get my resources and I know where to turn them in. So it just makes it really smooth and kind of feels like we are back in the classroom just because we're on such a routine in the class, which I really like.
Yeah, I think a lot of people miss the value of routine. There is value in knowing where you need to go, when you need to be there, how you need to get there, and what you need to have. because those are the logistics of life, and in a sense, right, the logistics of learning. And I think what you're witnessing and what you guys are feeling is that when you don't have to worry about the logistics of life, you get to get into those heavier pieces that we're so there's some jargon or pedagogical terms that we could throw out there right now, but really all of them translate into I don't have to worry about the logistics. I can think about the thinking. And that's kind of a cool place to get in our world sometimes, right? Is to be able to really, who's ever had that moment in class where it's like, I'd never thought of that before. Where like neurons over here and neurons over here all start sparking at the same time, and you get that thing with the little tiny snowman running up and down your spine. And it's this kind of that epiphany of like, wow, I learned something today. And we get to get that more often if we're not worried about where's my pencil and where do I get the paper. And so it's kind of fun to be able to get to that point. It's why we do the job, right? So cool. That's awesome. I don't think we have anything else in there. I do got to say that we do have some crew that wants to talk a little bit about this weekend. Ben, why don't you give us the rundown for people that, it's cold, folks. It's getting cold outside, and the weekends are getting dark and all of those things. And there's not enough snow on the trails down lower in order to ski every day. So, like, you got to go up on the packed snow way up top if you want to ski and all that stuff. And so what do we do with ourselves on the weekend, Ben? Because it just seems like there's so little to do. What can we do? Ben.
We're going to be doing another round of the drive-in movies. This weekend, the theme is rom-coms. So on Friday, we're going to be playing The Princess Bride starting at 6. I think Elliot's putting links in the chat for the trailers for all those. And then later show at 9, we're going to be playing 10 Things I Hate About You. And then Saturday, we've got The Parent Trap at 6, and then Clueless at 9.
That's fantastic. And so we're playing The Parent Trap from the 90s, right? Not The Parent Trap from the 60s? Right? That's right? Right? Good? Okay, good. Lindsay Lohan playing 2 parts, one with a British accent, and it's pretty fantastic. I wouldn't say it's a fantastic British accent. I'd say the film's pretty fantastic, but I'll let you judge that. And yeah, you can get the tickets where? Where can you get those tickets, Ben?
You can get them at popupdriveink.com.
popupdriveink.com, and you can click in any one of those. It goes to the school store where you can get all kinds of other gear. And speaking of that, I believe there was a question that came up. Bria, what was that question that had relationship to being able to kind of deck yourselves out this year?
So we got a question that said, where can we purchase South merchandise? And to answer that question, all South merchandise can be purchased at their PTSO website, and Elliot's going to link that in the chat. And I know this year they rolled out these new jogger sweatpants, and I personally bought a pair. And let me tell you, they are so comfortable. They're perfect for online learning because they look presentable, but they're sweats. So I feel comfy, but I actually look like I'm accomplished in getting dressed. So I recommend buying a pair. They're super comfortable, great to wear for online learning. Support the South PTSO. They're doing a cool delivery system where they'll drop it off on your door, which is really great with this whole COVID era. I made it really easy to get them. I came home and they're just on my porch, and I was like, whoa.
So wait a minute. We're talking about epic sweatpants, right? That they deliver to your door?
Yeah, they just emailed me and said your package was...
Well, I knew the sweatpants were good because I'm wearing 16 and a half pair right now. Right now. That's right. 16 and a half pairs of sweatpants. It's kind of hard to move, but I'm still able to get into work every day, and that's just fine. But I didn't know they delivered it because, I work in the building, right? So I was able to go in and take care of what I need to take care of after buying it online at the PTSO website. And we can get to the PTSO website when we're buying movie tickets, and we can buy movie tickets where?
At popupdriveink.com.
Yes, we can. And that was pretty awesome, by the way. That was pretty fantastic. And all those links are going into the chat right now, and it's all super duper. And we got a couple of treats for you that he's going to throw in there for you. We have a 14-minute MC Hammer video for everybody at home this weekend. And when you've had classes all week long and you need that break, you need 14 minutes of MC Hammer. 9 of those minutes are lead up to the song. Half the people in here MC Hammer, who's that? Well, this is another reason for you to go click on that link and find out, because it's the best dancing that's ever been done by humankind, ever humankind. And if you're not into MC Hammer, if you're not into that, we've also included a link to 25 minutes of yodeling. And everybody needs 25 minutes of yodeling in their life. And if you don't, then you need to turn on 25 minutes of yodeling for someone else in your life just to see what happens. And I guarantee you it's going to be great. So we want to say thank you to everybody that's joining us. Do we have anything for the good of the order from the crew? Okay, short show, short to the point, super sweet. Anything for the good of the order, Dr. Allman?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So this is what you need to take home, everybody, and listen to. Everybody wave. I'm going to cut you out here in just a minute, so we just wave. Hey, bye, everybody. Hi, everybody. And so thank you for joining us here on The Den. We really appreciate it. We do this every week at noon. These folks get up super early. They work all week long to prep the show and get in here. And they're actually also doing a live show at 7 a.m. for the state. So if you want to see that, you can check that out at thedenak.org. Remember, if you are watching the archive of this and you want some answers to questions, and I mean, you probably have some questions. And this is one of the places that actually exists where some of these questions get answered. We're looking to get some guests on next week that along the food chain that could devour me at any time. That's pretty awesome. And we'll get them in here for questions too. So if you have questions that you would like to pose to either medical folks or school board folks or our principals or anyone else, or maybe Elliot, because Elliot has all the answers in the world, you can put those questions at southvote.com. That's southvote.com. Oh, there's one more thing. After RomCom weekend, we have been able to hold on to the screen as long as we keep selling those tickets. We're going to have Kung Fu weekend, so martial arts weekend. Here's what we need from you. Go to southvote.com and tell us your favorite martial arts film that you want to see on the big screen drive-in style, and we're going to let you have a say in what's happening. If you don't want to go to southvote.com, you can always follow us at symbol SHS The Den. You can tell us right there. Did you tweet at someone on Instagram? You can Insta us or comment or whatever and let us know what martial arts film you'd like to see at Kung Fu Weekend. Thanks, everybody. And remember, keep your claws sharp, Wolverines.